Title: The Mist and the Mirror, by Wisdom Chronicles. In the heart of Victorian London, where the soot of progress painted the sky in shades of grey, and the fog whispered secrets through the winding streets, lived a young factory worker named Elias. His world was a tapestry of steam and shadow, woven with the clatter of machinery and the rhythm of toil. Elias, a lad of no more than 17 summers, worked in a textile factory, his days consumed by the relentless dance of looms and spindles. The factory, a giant of iron and stone, stood as a cathedral of industry amidst the labyrinth of London's East End. Its towers belched smoke like dragons of yore, casting a pall over the city. Each morning, as the sun struggled to pierce the fog, Elias would trudge through the cobbled streets, his steps in unison with a multitude of other workers. Their faces, etched with the fatigue of unending labor, were like masks of resignation. The air was heavy with the scent of coal and damp earth. The omnipresent fog, an ever-shifting veil that cloaked the city in mystery. Elias, despite the drudgery of his existence, harbored a spirit untouched by the soot and grime of his surroundings. In his heart flickered the flame of hope, a desire for a life beyond the suffocating confines of the factory walls. He dreamed of a world filled with beauty and wonder, where the soul could soar free, unburdened by the shackles of necessity. The disparity between Elias's world and that of the affluent was stark. On rare occasions, he would venture into the opulent neighborhoods of the wealthy, where grand mansions stood like sentinels of privilege. Here, the streets were cleaner, the air less choked with smoke. Ladies in elegant gowns and gentlemen in top hats strolled leisurely, their laughter a melody alien to Elias's ears. Yet, in this city of contrasts, there existed places where the boundaries blurred. One such place was the public park, a green oasis amidst the urban sprawl. Here, Elias would often find solace, seated on a bench, watching sparrows flit among the trees. The park was a canvas where the various shades of London life merged. The rich in their finery, the workers in their drab garb, children in their innocent play. One foggy morning, as Elias made his way to the factory, a figure emerged from the mist. It was an old man, his face weathered like leather, his eyes holding the glint of untold stories. He was a street philosopher, known to some as Mad Jack, to others as the Sage of Whitechapel. He wandered the streets, a ghostly presence, sharing wisdom with those who would listen. "Elias!" the old man called out, his voice a rasp. "The fog is not just a shroud, it is a mirror. It reflects not what is, but what could be." Elias paused, intrigued. Mad Jack seldom addressed anyone directly, and never without reason. "What do you mean?" Elias asked, curiosity piquing. "The world you see, the world of smoke and iron, is but one face of reality. There exists another, a realm where the soul's desires take wing," the old man replied, his gaze piercing the mist. Elias pondered these words as he continued his journey. The factory awaited with its unyielding demands. Yet, something within him stirred, a longing awakened by the sage's cryptic message. Days turned into weeks, and the words of Mad Jack echoed in Elias's mind. He began to see the city differently. The fog, once a symbol of obscurity, now seemed a canvas of possibilities. The clatter of carriages, the distant toll of bells, the murmurs of the crowd, all these became the music of a hidden world, a world waiting to be discovered. Amidst the clamour of the factory, Elias found himself drifting into reveries. He imagined a London where the chasm between rich and poor was bridged, where the smokestacks gave way to gardens, and the din of industry was replaced by the harmony of nature and machine. These daydreams became his refuge, a secret garden of the mind where his spirit could breathe. One evening, as Elias walked home through the dimly lit streets, he noticed a commotion near the square. A group of workers, their faces alight with fervour, were gathered, talking animatedly. The winds of change were stirring, whispers of strikes and protests against the tyranny of the mills and factories. Elias listened, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. The unrest among the workers was a foreshadowing of a new era, a time when the cries of the oppressed would no longer be drowned in the roar of machines. As the days passed, the tension in London grew. The fog seemed thicker, the air charged with anticipation. Elias felt torn. He understood the plight of his fellow workers, their yearning for dignity and justice. Yet, he also feared the upheaval that change might bring. One morning, as Elias walked through the fog-laden streets, he encountered Mad Jack once more. The old man's eyes twinkled in the grey light. "The mist is lifting, Elias," he said, a knowing smile on his lips. "The mirror is clearing. What will you see in it? What will you choose to be?" Elias stood still, the words resonating deep within. He realized then that the fog was not just a veil of uncertainty. It was a symbol of transformation. It was in this nebulous realm, where the seen and unseen mingled, that the future of London, his future, was being shaped. In the days that followed, Elias became an active participant in the burgeoning movement for change. He spoke at gatherings, his voice joining the chorus of those demanding a better world. The factory, once his prison, became the crucible where his resolve was tested and strengthened. Through the struggles and triumphs, through the tears and laughter, Elias discovered the true essence of his city and himself. London, with all its contrasts and conflicts, was a living entity, evolving, growing, transcending its own limitations. In the heart of Victorian London, amidst the fog and the soot, a young factory worker named Elias found his purpose. He realized that every cobblestone, every whisper of steam, every flicker of gaslight was part of a greater story. A story of hope, of struggle, of the indomitable human spirit. And in this realization, he understood the true nature of the mist and the mirror. The fog was not just a shroud of uncertainty. It was a veil of dreams, a gateway to a world where the soul was free to soar. And the mirror, it reflected not just the world as it was, but as it could be, as it should be. In the dance of fog and light, in the symphony of clatter and silence, Elias found his path. And in finding it, he became a beacon for others, a light guiding the way through the mist towards a brighter, kinder world.